Thank you, Anthony. I just wanted to pop up the title of my speech today, and then I'm going to pop right back out of the slides. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I got into almost everything that I found myself get into in Toastmasters. And that is not because I went out of my way and decided, oh, this is the next thing that I should be doing. No, it's usually come because somebody has asked me to do it, suggested that I might want to try this out, or voluntold me to do it, as people might call it. Volunteered me, told me, volinspired me to do it, commandeered me to do it, nominated me to do it, nominated me to do it. And that's how I've ended up in the role. Right back to when I first got started in Toastmasters. I went into Toastmasters because I heard there was pizza in the boardroom at work, and I'm not going to skip out on free food at work. So I showed up and sat down in this boardroom. I remember those days when we were just in the office and smelled free pizza and we could just walk down the hall and get it. That's one of the hugest losses of this whole coronavirus situation. That's a tangent though. When I walked into that boardroom, there were all these people speaking, getting up there, running a demonstration of something called Toastmasters, which they were trying to get started at my corporation. And I thought, oh gosh, I don't want to do this, and hit up against the flowers in the wallpaper in the boardroom. And only ended up getting up when I saw enough other people doing it, or when I was asked to do it and felt, all right, I need to do this now. And the same thing played out when it was time to get into leadership. I didn't want to jump into an officer role. Instead, somebody asked me to get into a leadership role. When I first became club president after being secretary, probably because none of the other officers wanted to do it, but I was asked, hey, you would make a really good president for this club. And that not only asked the question, but it also left me feeling, hey, you really do think that I would be good at this? That made me feel really good. And I think that that's the first important lesson I got out of this concept of voluntelling people in Toastmasters, is that it's not just about getting someone to do something, but it's also about making them feel good about themselves. It's about providing positive feedback in a sense that you believe in them, that you see something in them, and we're going to draw it out together. Just try this next step in your leadership journey. And I think that that is where good motivation really comes into play, is that you are both providing positive feedback and inspiration while you are also getting someone to do something, getting someone to speak in your club meeting, getting someone to fill a role on the agenda, getting someone to sign up for that sergeant at arms role that the previous person decided not to renew with your club, and now you have a vacancy. It's all about making someone feel good and providing positive reinforcement and giving them an opportunity to grow and feel good about themselves, rather than doing you a favor by filling in this role of work that you don't necessarily want to be doing right now. So today I wanted to share a couple of the ideas provided by Toastmasters about motivation. What motivates people? And this is one of my favorite graphics that Toastmasters has created in some of its, this was created by Toastmasters years ago in some training material. It's the Toastmasters hierarchy of needs. Has everyone heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Where it describes how human beings have these, these ever increasing as you go up the pyramid needs. And if you are focused on the basics, on just survival, like getting something to eat, then you're not so much worried about your esteem and what other people think about. And it's as you meet the lower needs that you start focusing more on each higher level of the pyramid, and that becomes what drives you in that moment. And a Toastmasters hierarchy of needs allows you to think about that in terms of members in your Toastmasters club and where they are on the pyramid. You might have somebody that is just coming in and is petrified of public speaking, and that's where they are and their needs, and their first, foremost, and really only need to focus on at this moment, and for you, where you can motivate them and help them, are those basic areas of providing them practice and getting them opportunities to become comfortable. Just letting them fill the timer role on the agenda where they only need to read off the description of what the role is and then hold up some cards. And that gives them that basic level of comfort of just doing something in front of a group until it's not scary. And as you move up, you are worried, your needs of your members will change. So as somebody gets over that initial petrification fear, they want to be able to practice and hone their skills and have a strong and supportive environment to do so. And then once you've started developing your skills, your Toastmasters clubs really becomes about the friends that you make, the social aspect, the other people. And you want to welcome new people and make them feel comfortable. And that really becomes about where it is for you. And as you get higher, you start to focus more on the ability to receive esteem and praise and feel good about yourself. And then at the highest level, self-actualization, which goes beyond feeling good about yourself, but instead this need to realize your potential and be something more and make a difference in the world. So I love this particular slide, and it is worth thinking about as you talk to your members and as you look to motivate and mentor your members along in their Toastmasters journey, is try to be aware of where they are in the hierarchy of needs. The next thing I'd like to share are some of the benefits for getting into leadership if you are talking to people about getting leadership, and then as a reminder to you about why you are embarking on this leadership journey to motivate people and mentor them. In Toastmasters, you can sell this as an experience for getting practical, real work experience. If you are leading meetings at your organization, if you are going into a management role, Toastmasters is the safe environment where you can practice those skills. You can develop skills in those areas and find some personal and professional opportunities. And then the final major benefit that you get out of it is the ability to build your club's legacy and do something more. Now, these kind of line up to that hierarchy of needs I was talking about in the prior slide. It's just a way of restating it in a way, is you get this ability in a Toastmasters club to, as the Toastmasters club mission states, have a positive and supportive learning environment where you can develop your leadership skills. So once you're past that, having a safe environment, you're working on those skills. And then you are finding those personal and professional opportunities where you're finding, getting esteem for what you're doing, and you're self-actualizing on a personal level, and then building the club's legacy, which does something more. I think it's a mix of the social aspect of worrying about other people, but also actualizing and doing something more than yourself with your leadership skills. I want to wrap up, actually. I'm going to skip this last particular slide. I like to audible like that. And say, and just ask you a question. I'm going to talk about later today in my breakout session about motivating people to get involved in meeting roles and doing speeches. And we're going to focus on how to apply these ideas of motivation and motivational tools. And I just want to ask the group of you, when is the last time that you have run a membership survey? Have you asked people where they are in this hierarchy of needs? Have you taken the time to really get to know the members in your club?
Trevor,
Phyllis has. Yes.
I'm right in the middle of a survey right now, and I'm absolutely pleased that you're discussing this because I'd like to make sure that I'm on the right path. As VP of membership, I'm highly sensitized to getting new members, not losing members, encouraging members, making the club be exciting. There's so much involved, and I've shrunk it down to 15 minutes with 3 questions that I've been calling people about one-on-one and taking surveys, because I'm going to comprise all the data together and then feed it to the officers first and then to all the members so that they can see the input from everyone and understand the challenges that we have. So I'm hoping that I can get an awful lot out of, I have very high expectations for information today.
Thank you, Phyllis. And that is excellent. That is an excellent example for everyone about what I'm trying to talk about here is that when you are looking to motivate people, it isn't about waiting until, oh, I have a need for an officer role, or, oh, my agenda is totally empty of roles, and then trying to drag people into it and hoping that they want to do it at the last minute. To truly motivate and get people to want to advance in the organization and participate and be a part of it. As leaders, we have to care about them and talk to them individually, find ways to get that feedback, whether it's a quick 3-question survey that they fill out in a form, or it's personally reaching out to them and talking to them, or finding a way to have an informal conversation where you get to know what makes them tick, what is driving them, what made them sign up for Toastmasters, what they want to get out of it, and how you can present them opportunities to pull that out of them and to fulfill their needs. So motivation is about meeting people's needs and empowering them. Focus on the part of voluntelling people and not the telling part, and they will thrive.